Well guys, welcome back to SnowRunner yet again, and I know that after my last video on the topic of console mods, there were a lot of people that seemed to be getting a little bit discouraged, or there were a lot of people showing up in the comments that were saying things like, well, it's just gonna be like MudRunner and it'll just never have them, or they're just leading us on and we're never gonna get console mods. I'm not so sure about that anymore because in the official SnowRunner Discord, one of the community managers actually said, basically in a call out to mod creators, he literally said, like, just openly in their, like, modding channel in the official Discord, he was like, if any mod creators that already have mods on mod.io want your mods to be available on console the day console mods launch, PM me. And then that, that took all of my theories that I had in my head about when console mods could be coming and turned them around immediately. So, by the way, while we're here, obviously we are in the Yukon and we're going to be probably just handling a couple of things here and there. But, man, there's actually a lot more to think about now than I thought there was. And I think with that being said, one of the biggest things to think about is the fact that that means that even though, like, even if, gotta look at it this way, even if console mods aren't necessarily immediately available in the Phase 2, in the first drop of the Phase 2 update, I could very easily see them getting added in as a patch very shortly thereafter, and I mean, like, very shortly. Now, obviously, we do not have a definite release date as of yet, but holy smokes, the fact that he threw that out there is literally, I know that there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be like, oh my god, you're reading too much into, like, a tiny little announcement. But the thing is, I don't think I'm necessarily reading too much into it, because this is the biggest news we've heard about this in so long. Like, oh my god, dude, I don't know. It's literally the biggest news we have heard about this in so freaking long. And I don't even know what to say about it at this point, because I'm like, yeah, we might not have a release date yet, but man, they've got to be close if they're saying stuff like that. They have got to be freaking close if they're saying stuff like that, right? And I mean, maybe see, that's the other thing too, is I would love to, like, hear from you guys in the comments. Like, do you think it's crazy to assume that if they're throwing stuff like that out there, do you think it's crazy to assume that we could be weeks away? Now, I'm not saying that as a definite. I am not saying that as a definite, so don't take that the wrong way if they don't come in a couple of weeks or a few weeks. But I foresee there being a tremendous announcement here soon. If there isn't a tremendous announcement here soon, I will be very, very, very surprised. Because with all these hints that they've been dropping lately, and then all of a sudden seeing them drop that, I mean, that's a huge bombshell, right? Like, that's a huge deal to see them drop that. And I think it also cracks me up when when I see sometimes out there that are like, you know, people that are like, don't talk about console mods, it's clickbait. And I'm like, console mods are, not only are they happening, but they are something that people want to hear about. So I feel like they're pretty far outside the clickbait space. But anywho, let's go back to the topic at hand. Now, I think as far as timelines go, I think it stands to reason that based on the recent announcement that that they made on the forums that we talked about, as far as the 10.2 patch for the PTS, I would venture a guess that when the full version of Phase 2 drops on consoles, it would be, I mean, it seems pretty logical to me that we would see the console mods themselves getting added in as a patch shortly after the Phase 2 update drops. And I know that there were people that seemed a little freaked out when I said that they won't be coming immediately in Phase 2, and a lot of people took that to mean, well, they're just never coming at all, or, well, that must mean they're not coming until, like, Phase 4 or something. But I think that that's really not the case. I genuinely believe that if we're seeing them announce that they won't be necessarily right there in phase 2, but they'll be soon after. Like, I am going to continue to follow the until it is completely proven that that's not going to happen. Like, my belief right now is that they may not be in the initial drop of phase 2, but they will most likely, or should most likely, be added in as a patch a little bit later on. And I mean, I'm not necessarily going to hold my breath for that to happen, but I will keep, I'm starting to actually feel like it's okay to get my hopes up, because it's like you can feel it, you know what I mean? They would not be putting something like that out there if they did not plan on making a big announcement soon. They just wouldn't. I mean, why else would you put out an announcement that's that big and that, like, speculation provoking if you weren't gonna make a huge announcement very, very, very soon? I just don't think you would. I really and truly don't think you would. And I know that there are people out there that are gonna be like, well, it's just to generate hype because they feel like people wouldn't be interested in the game otherwise, and they're just gonna string people on and then never release them and blah, 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 blah. I, for one, believe that that's not gonna be the case. Like, I really don't believe that that's gonna be the case. Now, could I be proven wrong about that? Sure. Do I want to be proven wrong about that? You know, do I want console mods to just have been this, like, strung on thing that never actually happened? Of course I don't want that. I want the console players to have mods so badly, because I know what it's like to be there on just a console, like just having a console and not having a gaming PC, or not having access to one, or maybe not necessarily having the resources to build one. Like, at that time, like, I've been there, dude. Like, I know exactly how it feels to watch all of your friends with gaming PCs get to use all this cool stuff, and you feel like you don't get to use it, or you feel like it's off limits to you, or you feel like the PC people are taunting you with it, you know? I know exactly how that feels, and I completely understand how a lot of the console people could feel like, you know, they've been led on. But man, like, these are the reasons why I still hold out hope for console mods, because when I see stuff like this, I'm like, dude, not only have we never seen that before, but that's gotta mean that something is right around the corner, right? Like, right around the corner. I cannot help but think that it's almost there. We're almost there in terms of seeing something huge and seeing something gigantic. Now, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section below in terms of if you think, you know, that this has just been like an elaborate, like, lead-on thing, or, you know, if you feel like, no, like, this is a big deal and this shows that we really are tremendously close. Because I believe we are tremendously close. I mean, like, I was a little bit unsure about where they were when they said that it wasn't going to be in the initial phase 2 drop, but it would be later, and they didn't really specify when. I was a little bit let down. I was a little bit like, oh, that sucks. But when I saw this, I was like, it can't be that long after the drop of phase 2. You know, if we're seeing them drop info like that, like, dude, oh my god, it's gotta be super close. It's absolutely 100% gotta be. And I don't see any way that it wouldn't be super close with them announcing things like that. And it just wouldn't make sense. And you got to think about it from a logical standpoint. Now, do I think that they've had the best, you know, technique of marketing it? No. I would have liked to have seen more. I mean, I would have liked to have seen more info, more, oh god! I didn't even see that there. What the heck? Man, I bumped into into that truck frame, and it just threw me. It absolutely 100% just freaking threw me. And I love how it will not let me switch to that telehandler. Like, I've used it before, but it's like, nope. You are not allowed. You are not allowed to have that. That is not a telehandler for you. These are not the droids you're looking for. It's like you can have your 770G. You could have your freaking Kolob. Actually... Oh, I got extra metal rolls on this thing too. How convenient. Yo, how freaking convenient, right? Right? I mean, I've got, like, obviously the warehouse down here. Does it have, like, anything that I'm looking for? I got more metal rolls, more small pipes. Wait, they got 4 metal rolls? Bruh, I could do like a full load up of metal rolls down there if I really wanted to. Heck yeah. Alright, so... Also the warehouse up here, which... What? Okay, well actually I could finish all the concrete slab deliveries too. Heck yeah, I'm actually in a much better place with this than I thought. So I'm going to shut the Kolob down and actually go back to the GMC and see if I can just, like, bring that telehandler back to life because, trust me, it needs to be brought back to life. I don't know why the game has all of a sudden decided that I am not allowed to drive that telehandler. It's like, no! You're not allowed to drive that. We don't... No! No! Great. Is there anything near here now? Anything? Anything at all? I don't think so. Yep. Well, it looks like we could be in the realm of making a trip back to the drawing board with this setup. However, we will obviously be able to fix all of these trucks in a future video. But, you know, this highlights something. How I have the ability to pretty much incapacitate all of my trucks in a matter of seconds. I don't know, I mean, obviously, not all of my trucks are incapacitated right now, but to be fair, I feel like some of you guys may be able to relate to just, like, certain trains of events that can happen in the course of, like, 30 seconds when you switch between multiple trucks and you're like, how the heck did I do that? But I would love to hear your thoughts on this development in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for tuning in, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.